Great, 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 great. Welcome to module 2 of 10 times better. So let's get into this. And let me just say, bottom line, this module here is called Getting Past Yourself. Getting Past Yourself. Now, you probably just completed the first training module, which your last exercise was to write a letter to your future self and say, future self, I am writing this letter to you because I am holding you accountable and responsible for the following. Your job, and you went on. And I mentioned those 5 things that, at least those 5 accountabilities you want to hold yourself accountable to. And if you wanted to add more, fine, that's up to you. But the main idea is that you write the letter to yourself and get emotionally and visually and mentally visually involved in the things you want to hold the future you accountable for. If you wrote that letter to future you, what I want to ask you to do now is either put it in an envelope, seal it, and date it a year from now, 2 years from now, to up to 3 years from now. And your assignment with that now is you are not allowed to open it and read it until a year has passed, 2 years has passed, or 3 years has passed. So you choose how far in the future you want to set it for. Write the year on the envelope that you put the letter in. Write the year on the envelope, and that's the year you open it and read it. Okay? And the idea is to look at where you were when you wrote it to the future you, and when that time happens, let's see what you've matched up to from the letter from your past self writing to your current self writing to the future you. Okay, so you guys got that? Great. So now we're going to really go into getting past yourself. And when I say getting past yourself, we're actually getting past yourself or your past, getting past your past. And it's amazing when you stop to think about all of the past experiences that are creating these strongholds in your life and not allowing you to move forward into your future and be the better version of yourself, the 10 times better version of yourself you truly desire to be. Now, what I find with most people is that we are programmed and we don't realize that we're programmed. Okay? We are routinely doing things and we're comfortable with the routine. For example, when you take your kids to school in the morning, if you have kids and you drop your kids off in the morning to school, is there a route you normally take when you drop your kids off? And if so, when is the last time you chose a completely different route to school? Do you always take the same route? And do you leave the house at the same time? And when you drop your kids off, do you take the same route when you go to work? And if so, for how long have you been taking that same route to work? And what is your morning routine when you get to work? Do you stop at a bagel store? Do you stop at a coffee shop? Do you stop at a corner bodega? What do you do? And what do you get? Are you predictable? Is your routine predictable to people who know you? I know for me, I was going into this corner store, this little deli, and I had such a routine. I programmed such a routine in my life that when I walked into the deli, I no longer had to tell the guy behind the counter what it was I wanted to purchase in the morning. He was so used to my routine, he could tell me what it is. So, I would go in there and I would lift my hand up to get his attention and tell him what kind of sandwich I would want and what I'd like. And before I could even, raise my hand or say anything, he'd look at me and go, BLT, lettuce, extra onions, and pepper with no salt, oil and vinegar. And I go, yep. He's like, and tall coffee, regular. And I'd go like this. And he go, got you, man. Already got it. And I was like, wow, man, that's good. And that to me, you feel like, wow, this guy really knows me. This is good customer service. Well, you see, that's not really good customer service. I created a routine that he recognized and got used to, and I became predictable to him. So he could just already have the sandwich made, have the coffee ready, because he knew, oh, it's about what, 8:15. The guy's gonna walk in here in about 2 minutes. Boom, here I am. Mark's already got the BLT ready with the coffee, and so so I'm predictable because of my routine. And this is how we all are. Okay, our past creates these routines. Now, how does the past help you create a current routine in your life that you stick to over and over and over and over and over and over? Well, if you, for example, like, I don't know, a jelly donut, and you've gone into Dunkin' Donuts hundreds of times and you never purchased a Boston cream, you never purchased a vanilla cream, you never purchased a glaze, you just stick with the jelly donut. Well, why? I know you like the jelly donut, but why won't you venture off and try other things? Why won't you change it up? Because at some point in your past, maybe when you were a kid, you associate you're associating the jelly donut with a good feel experience or a good feeling memory that you will not let go of. So whenever you get that jelly donut, whether you realize it consciously or subconsciously, it makes you feel good about yourself. And that's why you do the things you do. And so it's all based off of past experience that is coming forth in your life now that wants to cause you to react over your situation, over your circumstance, and create a routine to pacify a past experience, because your past experience is going to keep calling forth to you and saying, hey, feed me, feed me, feed me. Because if you change that up, if you were to change the cycle, if you were to change the cycle of events, then you would run into new opportunities. You create new opportunities and pull into your life, pull into your circumference, your circle. You would pull into new people into it. You would pull new ideas into it. You would pull in new opportunities. You would pull in new vibrations, and you would pull in new blessings. Why? Because you cannot get blessed staying on a routine track. In order to really go and get blessed, you've got to break the cycle and go beyond what you're normally used to. And your past will not allow you to do it because it's too busy being afraid of change and being comfortable with the familiar. Okay? Now, when you really think about this, guys, when you really think about this, you're going to find that people who are your closest circle of friends, and I really want you to give this some thought and consider this. Who are your friends at work? Who are your friends outside of work? Who do you spend most of your time around? I'm just talking about your friends, your close. They could be relatives, but you guys have like a great friendship, right? So ask yourself this: how much are they like you? What do you all have in common? You work at the same place? Do you have the same position? Do you like the same music? Do you like the same sports? Do you like the same movies? Do you like the same fashion? What is it about your circle of friends and you that hold you in common, that keep your friendship blossoming, and the commonality? So what you'll end up finding out is that the people that you're comfortable with are the people who help keep your routine comfortable for you. So they don't allow you to change the routine because they're part of the circle of the routine. And the moment you change that routine up, you're gonna find out you've changed up friendships. You've now opened it up for new people. So here's what I want to ask you, and here's part of your assignment. So let's do the first part now. Okay, I want you to write on a piece of paper seven people, that you know, and they personally know you. So it's seven people that you know, and they personally know you. And you know what? They know you either direct or indirect from a friend or a third person, but you all know each other. You may not hang with them all the time, but you know them. You okay? And they know you. Now, what I want you to do is make a list 1 through 7 on a sheet of paper, and I want you to list 7 people that you know and who know you. And when you make this list, these 7 people are 7 people who live their life at a lower level than yours. Meaning, your life, you are living your life at a higher level than they are. You have a nice car. They have a hoopty. You live in a nice apartment. They live in the worst part of town in a beat up 1 bedroom. They're not. They could be doing better, but they're not. You have a nice job. They have a rinky dink, you know, minimum wage job. You are a person who you dress, you dress appropriately, and you keep yourself looking nice. They don't put much thought into what they wear. They don't even try. Okay. You get the idea. So these are people who live at a lower level than you. You're living at a higher level than them. So write a list of 1 to 7 people who are living at a lower level than you. Okay? If you can list 7, but really go for 7. You may not be able to find or come to your mind 7 people, but try. Write a list of 7 people. Now here's the thing. Be free with this because this is your list. You're not going to show this to these people. This is just an exercise for you. And you're going to do this exercise so that you can see where we're taking you. You're getting past yourself. You're getting past your past. Now, write a list of those 7 people who are living at a lower level than you. And when you write those 7 people, when you have that list, what I want you to do is I want you to tell me what it is that they are not doing, that you are doing, that they keep living at this low level. Okay? What is it that they are not doing that you're doing that keeps them living at this low level? And be honest, man. Don't let them off the hook easy. I really want you to analyze what you believe they're not doing. What's stopping them from coming up to your level of living? What do you really believe it is? Okay? So what I want you to do is pause this video right now and create that list of 7 people who are living life at a lower level than you. And when you have those 7 people, if you can get the 7, then write what you believe those people are not doing, that you are doing, that's keeping them living at a lower level than you. What do you think it is? Really analyze it. Do that now. Pause this and do that now, and I'll see you when you get back. All right, so you've got the list together. You wrote down 7 people. You possibly have a total of 7. Maybe you have less than 7. But if you wrote down a list of those people, then what you actually have is people who are living in your mind at a lower level than you. Okay? And the next step is to write, what do you believe they are not doing that's keeping them living at that lower level? What are you doing that's keeping you living at the level you're living above them? Okay? And I really want you to let it rip. Okay? And really be transparent about what you believe they're not doing. And then look at who those people are that you wrote down and what you believe they're not doing and why aren't they doing it? Okay? So if you've done that, very good. Okay? Now, what I want you to understand is that when you see these people who are living at a lower level than you, that means that you are doing something different. You are doing something extra. You're doing something more that's just above them. Okay? It's just above them. So there's something they're not doing. What are they missing that you know that you do, and it keeps you above them? And maybe what's interesting is maybe if you could show them what you've been doing, and they really want to get to where you are, and they learn that, they come up to your level, or maybe just barely under, right? Now watch this. Okay, so so when you have that list and you start realizing what they're not doing, it helps you realize what you're doing. Now, what I want you to do now is I want you to make another list. So you're going to make another list of 1 through 7. Once again, number 1 through 7. And this time, you're going to make a list of 7 people, if you can get 7. 7 people who are living life at a level above you. 7 people who are living their lives at a level above you. And these 7 people are the type of people who I really want you to get this. These are the type of people, these are 7 people who really are living life. I mean, they go on vacations constantly. Their money is really not an object to them. They really, when you see them, they always are spectacular. Their outfits are banging, right? They got a nice car. They live in a great part of town. The kids go to great schools. They got great careers. They got a great company. What I want you to write 7 people who are living at a higher level than you. And when you write those 7 people down, if you can get 7, okay, what I then want you to do is write down, what are they doing that you recognize? What is it that you recognize that they are doing that you're not, that they can keep living at that high level above you? What is it that you notice they do? And then the second thing I want you to write is what all of the people who live above you, all the people who are 7 people who are living at a level above you, what do all of them have in common? What's the one commonality between all 7 people who can live their life at a level above you? Okay? That's what I want you to do. So you want to compare that to the other list. But right now, what I want you to do is I want you to, once again, pause the video, make another list from 1 through 7, and write the names of 7 people who are living their life at a level above you. Okay? And then when you have those 7 people's names down on your list, then I want you to write what it is that you recognize they are doing that you are not, that they can continue living at this level above you. And secondly, what do they all have in common? What do all these 7 level above you people have in common that you recognize about all of them, that one commonality. Okay, so pause and do that right now. Great. And so we're back. So you've got the list together, and you've got 7 people who live life at a level above you, and you recognize that these are those 7 people, right? Now you want to know what you recognize. You're writing down what you recognize. What are they doing? What is it that these 7 people are doing that you recognize in your life? What are they doing that keeps them living at that level above you that you're not? What is it about them that what are they doing? What's different about what they do than what you do? Okay? And when you see when you see what you believe it is that they do, what are you not doing? Right? Now, what's the one commonality that you recognized about all of them that they all have in common? It's undeniable. And here's the funny thing. The number one thing that most of these people who live at a level above you probably more than likely all have in common is that they own their own business or they own their own company. They work for themselves. Or they have a certain level of expertise that separates them from the regular workforce, right? So this is the commonality that more than likely they should have, right? So I want you to really analyze what you put down as their commonality and what it is that you recognize they're doing that you're not to keep them living at that level above you. Now, when you recognize, right, when you recognize the first list, what the people living beneath you, level beneath you, are not doing that you're doing, right? You realize that what you do in your life, you're going at an extra speed. You're going at an extra drive that the people living at the level beneath you don't even shoot for. They don't even try. But the people that lives above you, if you're actually got this drive that you can live above low level people, what kind of drive are the people living above you? What are they on? Now, if you want to take your life to the level of the people living above the level of you, then what you have to do is find out what they do and do it. Repeat, or I should say rinse and repeat. Find out what they do and add it to what you already do that keeps you at the level you're at, and add what they do that keeps them at that level and start doing that. And then find out what their commonality is, what all of them have in common, and that is a goal you must attain in your life. Because you must become common with the higher level. You must become common with the higher level. Okay? And when you, now, here's the idea of all of this. So, the only way you can start doing what they do to come up to their level is to stop your routine of your past. And honestly, what's holding you back is you can't get past your past. You can't get past, if you could, you would easily start doing what they do. You would easily get the commonality that they have, but you ain't doing that. Why? Because you only gonna go as far as your past will allow you. So here's what I want you to do now. I want you to let your past go. And right now, you to simply make a declaration that you appreciate your past. but you forgive your past for holding you hostage, and you release yourself from your past. You give yourself the permission to release yourself from your past. So here's what I want you to do. As the last part of this exercise is, I want you to simply write a letter to your past you. Write a letter to your past you. Now, this letter you can keep very, very simple. You can actually keep it 1 to 2 paragraphs, but I really want you to do this now. I want you to write a letter to your past you, and in that letter, I want you to do 2 things. You're going to say, "Dear past, I am writing this letter to you to let you know I want to give you some advice that I never gave you before. But looking back, this is the best advice I could give you. So I want you to give yourself that one piece of advice. If you could go back in time and tell yourself that one piece of advice, what would that one piece of advice be?" Now write that to your past self. Now, the second thing is, if you could tell your past self one thing to look for in the future, what would it be? I want you to tell your past self in that letter what you want them to look for in the future, and don't let it go. So stop, do that now, and that will conclude the exercise for video 2. And guys, I will see you in video